Here in Cleveland, Ohio, with the UFC heavyweight champ of the world, Stipe Miocic. Stipe, this fight kind of came together a little quicker than I imagined. You know, I think what it got announced, and obviously right after Francis fight in December. Was it kind of quick for you that this kind of came about? Or?
No, they were talking about it, So it's whatever the UFC wants, whatever, man.
Did you have an idea, like it would be like in January? They kind of talked to you.
Yeah. The winner of that fight of both.
Oh, okay, so they had kind of hinted to you already it was going to be Alistair or Francis.
Yeah.
Were you? This is a weird question. Were you happy it was someone other than Alistair? Did you already fought and beat him? Or?
No, I don't care. But it is what it is, man. Everybody the underdog. Everyone thinks I'm gonna.
What did you think of Francis' performance against the Overeem?
Did a great job, man. Did what he was supposed to. Hit him with a nasty uppercut. Knocked him out. And that's what you're supposed to do, man. It's a good night.
Did you think? Because I thought Alistair fought him the wrong way. In terms of the way he came after him. Kind of after they broke away from the clinch, he kind of got him really aggressively, and I thought that was kind of the wrong idea with a power puncher like that. Am I wrong in thinking that maybe his approach was a little bit off?
Maybe. He was a little wild. I never seen him so wild before. Usually, he's kind of down the pipe and stuff like that. And he kind of caught with some. I don't know. He's throwing some awkward punches, but maybe he had a plan. Who knows? I don't know. But he got caught. Unfortunately, it's part of the game.
Yeah. I remember talking to you after the Dos Santos fight. I mentioned some of the guys coming up, and you're always whoever they throw at you. But do you remember when you first noticed Francis? Like when you first saw him fight, or maybe first saw him and were like, okay, this is a guy maybe to keep an eye on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I trained with Curtis Blades, so that's probably when I saw him first time. He was tough. He's a tough guy. He's gotten better every fight. He gets better every fight, but unfortunately, he hasn't fight anyone like me yet.
Did you talk to Curtis at all? I know that he's got a fight coming up, pretty soon as well. Obviously he's probably, in my opinion, gave Francis his toughest fight in the UFC.
Yeah. No, I haven't talked to him, but I've seen it. He did a great job. That was his first fight in UFC or second fight, and it'll be good. He's got a lot better since then too. So he's an up and comer too.
He took Francis down. That's been a big question. How is his ground game? Obviously, you come from a wrestling background. You've used it in some fights, other fights you don't. Do you just feel like if you decide to kind of pick your shots, you have more ways to win this fight?
100%. Yeah, I think I'm more of a mixed martial artist than he is. He's got a lot of power, like everyone says, but if I do it, I'll do what I want. I'm not worried about it.
I had this conversation with you before the last fight. I said, you're the guy who will never become a rock star. You said your wife will never let you become a rock star.
Yeah.
At that press conference last week, Francis seemed like he got a little confidence from the last fight. Talking a little trash, things like that. Not that you're not used to that necessarily, but is there a chance? You can't get into his head, but maybe he's starting to believe his own hype a little bit.
I'm doing what he wants. He's doing well. He's doing something right, and he's fighting for the title. But like I said, as long as I'm here, no one's getting that belt. I worked way too hard to give it up. I sacrificed way too much to give it up. So, fortunately, as long as I'm here, no one's getting that belt.
What did you think of that press conference last week? It seems like you were pretty much just, you were there, answer questions.
I was there so I don't get fined.
That was pretty much it?
Yeah.
So, how is it when something like that comes up? Middle of training camp, 3 weeks away from your fight, got to fly all the way. And you're not, he lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
You're flying up from Ohio, which for those who don't know, it's not like a short trip.
No, yeah. It worked out well, man. It was fine. I got all my training in already. Actually woke up at 3:50, worked out at 4:45, then went to the plane. After I got him working out, and then relaxed the rest of the day and got to work out the next day, and then I came home Friday night and then sparred Saturday morning. So nothing's changed. I'm good.
Not too much. You've done the whole stare down thing with fighters before. Do you gain anything from that? Do you see anything in that?
I just think it's awkward as shit. I hate it. I try not to laugh and make sure my breath doesn't stink or anything like that.
Do you when you look at Francis, is he ultimately, because all the build-up is about him being, the next big thing, this guy, that guy. Do you have to always look at a guy like that and just say, he's just another guy?
Yeah, 100%. It is. He's tough. He's big, strong. It's hard, but he's just another dude. Honestly, he is.
When you break down his, knockout power versus knockout power, they on the stage there was this kind of awkward moment in the press conference where Dana's reading off that sheet.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he just hits as hard as a Ford Escort going 30 miles an hour.
You tell me Mark Hunt doesn't hit like that hard, Roy Nelson or Junior Dos Santos. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of my point. It's like, I understand you got to hype up the guy, get all that, but it was just kind of like hitting a punching machine is not fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen, it's hard, man. I definitely won't get hit with anything, square like that, like Overeem did, but I'm definitely keep my head up and head on a swivel and make sure I'm doing everything right.
Is there a part of you that ever feels like when a guy like that comes along, that maybe it's kind of like when Conor McGregor came up. They promoted him so much, and you got Jose Aldo, who's like longest reigning champion, only featherweight champion in history, and all the press is around him. It's almost like the UFC's kind of rooting for him to become champion.
Yeah.
Did you feel any of that? It's like the hype is around him, not necessarily behind you, or
I don't care. Honestly, I really don't care. What the UFC wants. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and beg them to get behind me. I mean, I'm used to it by now.
when you say you're used to it, just that they're not promoting you?
Well, yeah, I'm just like, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, they don't promote me. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Listen, I don't talk shit. That's what it is. I mean, I understand. There are people that can sell pay-per-views. Apparently, I can't.
But I wouldn't say that you couldn't, though. I mean, you are the baddest man on the planet. You're the heavyweight champ. I mean, heavyweight division is always sold. I mean, your fight against, I mean, I understand the card was, what it was, but your card against Overeem did very well.
Yeah.
Your card against DeSantis did solid. Like, I don't believe that you're not a draw.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No worries, man. No hard feelings. So I just don't talk shit.
Going into the last fight, or coming out of the last fight, I should say, you had some conversations with the UFC about your contract, had some issues. I'm not going to get too deep into that conversation, but where do you sit right now? Are you a happy champion? Or are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to do my thing, man. I'm just happy. Holidays are over. I'm done eating. I'm relaxing, getting ready for this fight another 2 weeks, or 2.5 weeks, so get it over with.
Yeah. You sat next to Daniel Cormier at the press conference, and he ended up being kind of a little bit of your hype man over there. He had that. You put that clip up on Twitter today, which I like. Did you were smiling that whole time? Did you enjoy it?
He's a fun dude. I like Daniel. He's a good dude. He came here and we did that in the clinch together, and so we had a good time that day. He's a good dude, man. Wish nothing but the best for him.
How was that? I really enjoyed that in the clinch thing. I mean, obviously I've come up here and done some stuff with you before, but I thought it was really cool seeing you at the Firehouse. Kind of seeing another side of you. Did you enjoy doing that? I know you did the Rogan thing recently, like kind of open up a little bit. Is that fun for you?
Yeah, man. I'm getting used to. Before I used to hate media and doing all that other stuff, but now I don't mind it at all. It comes with the territory. And, it's just something different. I'm getting better at it. I just gotta work my speech and talking and sound like I'm gargling. Everyone thinks I have brain concussed because I've been hit so many times or some shit. I don't know. So it's funny.
Some people just don't enjoy doing interviews.
Yeah.
It's just all there is to it. It's
it is what it is.
When you have at the end of the day, this is, there's a lot of hype around Francis, a lot of stuff, but this is a big moment for you. This is a chance for you to break the all-time record.
When I break it.
I mean, Mark Coleman, Ohio guy, Granny Couture. The list goes on the great heavyweight champions of UFC history. You have the chance to top all that. I know you said, I asked you this, you gave me a little bit of crap at the press conference in, was it Dallas, when I kept asking you about it. But is it special to break that record? It's got to mean something, right?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about Francis. That's all I care about. January 20th, I like about going there and doing my job, coming out champion, which I will. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to walk out with the belt with silver wrapped around the waist.
Do you see, with your dedication and your training, I'm not going to sit here and make you say I'm going to be a 9-time, 10-time defending champion, but do you feel like as long as you're doing what you're doing now, putting in the work, never getting complacent, that you have the chance, or you want, I assume, to retire as champion? Is that safe to say?
100%. That's the plan. That's what I want to do. When I'm ready to retire, I'll retire. But I train so hard that I never get this ball up because I train so hard. I sacrifice way too much. Everyone with my coaches, they sacrifice so much. I'm very lucky with the team I have, and I'm just listen, man, I'm not giving that up. No way I'm giving this belt up.
When you talk about a guy like Francis with knockout power, obviously there's raw power. We've seen that before. He's not the first guy to have that just raw punching power. But one of the things you talked about on Rogan's podcast, and I knew this, but I like the way you kind of went in depth a little bit, was how you came from a wrestling background, but you actually went into Golden Gloves after that to learn how to box. Just learn how to box. Forget about wrestling, learn how to box. When you put your striking, your skilled striking versus Francis' skilled striking, do you feel like that's a big difference in this fight?
Oh yeah, definitely. If I just pick my shots and not get into a swinging match, like a bar fight, yeah, there's a chance I'll get hit. But if I'm sitting there picking my shots and look where I want to hit them, and I'll be fine.
Is there a little bit of, I said this to somebody the other day, is there a little bit of Mike Tyson kind of going on with Francis? And what I mean by that was, this guy goes in, he has his ferocious knockouts, his big finishes. But then Tyson ran into a guy by the name of Evander Holyfield one day, or obviously Buster Douglas, but let's just go a little further on. A guy like Evander Holyfield, really skilled guy. He didn't just stand in front of Tyson and let him wing big, hooking punches at him. And we saw what happened. Lennox Lewis, same thing. Do you get a little sense of that with this fight maybe? That Francis, he's got big power. Obviously, you have to be aware of that.
Well, I think I got big power too. I mean, but I'm not going to sit there and try to wing shots. I'm going to sit there and pick my shots. And when I see the opening, I'm going to take it.
One of the biggest questions, going into this fight is his, I talked about ground game, his conditioning. You're one of the probably, 2 heavyweights on the roster that could push the pace for 5 rounds. I mean, let's be honest. No offense to anybody else in the division. You've had a ton of first-round finishes, so I'm quite sure you'd be happy with another one.
Of course.
But if this fight goes deeper, do you feel like that is going to, if it does go deep, that will really separate the two of you in this fight?
Oh, 100%. I think so. Yeah, no question. I think, he's got a lot bigger too. So, I mean, I know I'm just more great conditioner will be even got that much bigger, but who knows? I could be wrong. But he's definitely a gamer. He's gonna come out swinging. So.
Yeah. You posted a thing today talking about you had your 5 knockouts in a row. Everyone's talking about his knockouts. You got 5 knockouts in a row over better competition. No offense to Francis, but you have better competition. Would it mean more to knock him out than maybe submitting him or decisioning him?
I don't care. As long as I get the W, that's all I care about. Knockout, submission, decision, I don't care. As long as I get the W. Task in hand, man. That's all I care about.
Do you think that kind of separates you in a way? Because if you look at, I'm not going to say Francis has no other way to win this fight. He won a fight by Kimura in the UFC, but I think that's kind of what everyone expects. If he gets the knockout, he wins. That's his way to win is the knockout. We can't say that. You have knockouts. You have ground and pound victories. You have decision victories. You have, do you feel like you just have more ways to win? You can kind of pick your shots.
100%, no question. And I definitely, he's going to come in straight for the fence, like I say. But, if I just do what I do and just pick my shots and see where I'm at, I'll be fine. I mean, I hope he doesn't take me lightly, but I feel like he is.
And that kind of leads in one of my final questions. He's so confident right now, and I get it. Some of that's showmanship, trying to hype the fight. I get all that. But when I talked earlier about the overconfidence, it seemed like, his demeanor changed a little bit between, maybe before Alistair and after Alistair a little bit. Like, he got that, confidence from that knockout where, maybe he is overlooking you a little bit, like forgetting that you are the 2-time defending champion. You've beaten, what at this point, probably 4 or 5 Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers? I mean, do you think he is taking you a little lightly, thinking he's just like the uncrowned champion?
Probably, which is good. I don't think that way, and then it's a terrible time to find out in the middle of a fight when he knows he can't do what he wants.
After this fight, I don't want to look past this fight, but I mean, you talked about after the DeSantis fight, you had a couple of injuries, you were kind of enjoying a little time off after that. How busy do you want to be in 2018?
Just play it by ear, right now I care about the 20th, in Boston, and just me and Francis going at it, and that's all I care about. I don't worry about after, what's going to happen after. I'm just going to worry about him and get that W, which I will.
Was there any part of you that wished the fight was in Cleveland instead of Boston?
No, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind fighting in Boston. Boston's a great city. I've never been there actually just to hang out, and do stuff. I've been through it for, flying overseas and stuff, but never just to enjoy it. Not enjoy it. I'm there for work, but still like to see the city and do all that stuff. So I'm actually really happy, I get to see that city too and stuff. I love Cleveland, but when I Boston's a fight city too.
Yeah. Before I get out of here, I got to bring it up, man. It's the toughest question of the day you're going to answer. Cleveland Browns, what happened?
They're 0-16, man. It is what it is, man. They actually got a lot of good things in place, man. I'm telling you. It wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be, but, I mean, 0-16, but we're fine. I'm telling you. Things just got to change around. You got to keep Hugh Jackson where he's at, man. I'm telling you. Everyone wants him fire, but I think he's doing great. He puts us in a lot of positions to win ball games, and I think we'll be fine. Plus, we got Gordon back. That guy's a freaking animal. Kaiser's getting better. We're looking good, man. Even the announcers, analysts, were talking about how we have a big. We're looking good ahead of us. So.
I was actually glad they kept Hugh Jackson. I mean, obviously he came from Cincinnati, my team.
Yeah, well, everyone wants him too. If they fire him, he's going to get hired right away. So I mean, it shows you how good of a coach he is. They want him.
Yeah, and that was the thing about Cleveland this year. They had some good games. I mean, it wasn't like they had a lot of games where they lost by 7. You know what I mean? Like they were down by a touchdown. Like little things that can turn around. I mean, there's been a ton of teams like that where they turn around the very next season.
Yeah, we're fine, man. We're gonna keep digging away. It's Cleveland, man. That's how we do it, man. We'll be fine.
But the Cavs championship, maybe, right?
Oh yeah, we'll be fine. Cavs looking great too, man. We got Isaiah back now. Oh, amazing. So we're gonna start turning up now. I'm excited.
Love it, Stipe. Thank you.
Thanks, homie.